Hey, it's Friday, my friends, and if you're not in a good mood just yet, just know that the Proteas returned home to a hero's welcome. Felix is back with the box, and Checkers just launched a Dumb and Dumber dog van. That's going to make sense in just a bit. Coming up in today's show, South Africa inches closer to an F1 Grand Prix, Ramaphosa tries to rescue our trade deal with the US, and Tiger Brands makes a comeback that no one saw coming. Let's get into it. And kicking us off with current affairs, with less than 3 weeks before the US tariffs triple, South Africa's heading back to the table trying to salvage a trade deal before the 9th of July. What's at stake here? Billions in exports. South Africa is trying to lock in duty-free quotas for our cars, steel, and aluminium, while offering to ramp up US gas imports in return. Now, the hope here is that Washington will hold off on tariff hikes, while the finer points of a deal are still being hammered out. But the downside here is that our runway is getting shorter. You see, India and the UK are far ahead of us in trade talks, and at the G7 summit, Trump skipped a follow-up meeting with Ramaphosa entirely, despite public signals that a meeting was happening. So now what we're doing is we're banking on a bundle of sweeteners to try and buy more time. So talks are expected to resume at next week's US-Africa Business Summit, but if it stalls, our exporters are going to get hit hard. And onto our quickfire mentions, the UK has just rejected Julius Malema's latest visa, citing extremism and his support for Hamas. Officials say that his future applications will also likely be refused. South Africa has reportedly finished dead last in a new global ranking of competition-friendly economies. The IMF says that it is one of the hardest places in the world to start and grow a business. And 10 black rhinos have been relocated from KZN to Mozambique, helping re-establish a population that's been extinct there for 50 years. While this looks like a win for conservation, let's just hope it comes with solid protection. And onto our finance section. Checkers Sixty60 used to be for topping up groceries and snacks. Now you can top up toys and treats for your dog, your cat, and your cousin's parrot. You see, as part of Pet Shop's science push, ShopRite added 3,500 pet products to the app, from vet-approved food to frisbees, all launched with a shaggy Dumb and Dumber style delivery van. Honestly, one of the best retail stunts we've seen all year. And I must say, it is a clever move in a booming 8 billion rand market. You see, Willie has grabbed the premium end by acquiring Absolute Pets. Now, Checkers is rather gunning for scale and convenience, aiming to go nationwide by the end of July. As for the margins, pet care beats groceries, hand over fist. The products are pricier, the brand loyalty is stronger, and let's be honest, you're more likely to skip your own dinner than forget the dog's. Depending on the dog. And next up, 18 months ago, Tiger Brands was limping, haunted by past flops, shrinking margins, and a reputation for under-delivering, to say the least. Today though, it has dropped the dead weight, doubled its share price, and posted its best cash position in years. The CEO has really pulled a rare consumer sector comeback, exiting loss-making units, cutting bloated costs, and giving the core brands like Albany, Jungle Oats, and Tastic room to breathe. The company is even paying out a special dividend on top of regular returns, while pushing return on capital above 20%. Look, there's still work to do, but the turnaround is real, powered by tighter logistics, leaner operations, and just ruthless portfolio trimming. And after years of being the JSE's serial underperformer, Tiger's finally got investors excited again. And onto our quickfire mentions, Virgin Active says it is officially back to pre-pandemic revenue levels, thanks in part to Kauai, which is now pumping out smoothies in half of their gyms, including in Italy. Libstar's revenue is up 10% so far this year, with stronger volumes in dairy and coated meats. The group says that momentum is still holding despite tighter consumer wallets. And Standard Bank says it is on track for mid-teens earnings growth this year, even as rate cuts stall and demand for credit cools. Return on equity remains solid at around 17 to 20%. And onto our sports section. After years of rumors, the FIA has finally signed off on the final upgrade plans for Kyalami, clearing the way for Formula One to return to South Africa. Now, the Midrand circuit will become Africa's only FIA Grade 1 track, but importantly, only once the final 90 to 180 million rand safety upgrades are complete. That includes new barriers, improved runoffs, revised curbs, and stricter drainage, all without changing the existing layout itself. It's now just a matter of timing and promoters. Now, if a deal is struck, it would mark F1's first race on African soil in over 3 decades and make Kyalami the crown jewel of South African motorsport again. For now though, the venue's future seems locked in. All that's left is a green light from the calendar and the cash. And onto our quick fire mentions. Felix Jones is officially back in the Bok camp as Rusty's right-hand man and already on everyone's case according to Khaleesi. The Boks face the Barbarians next weekend in Cape Town, and I can smell the bra fleece already. And the Proteas are heading home with more than just silverware. Their WTC win at Lords comes with an RCC payout of over 64 million rand, making it one of the biggest prize checks in South African cricket history. Now, before we continue, here is your Bagel Bite of the day. The world's largest diamond was discovered in which South African city? Is it A, Kimberley, B, Rustenburg, or C, Pretoria? We'll give you the answer at the end of the show. And on to our wildcard section. It's not inside, it's on top. Where's my chips? Met Asia. 3 lines, 3 ads, and every South African over 25 knows exactly where they came from. And that's the power of advertising. And for years, South Africa has been world class at it. But let's be honest, the big budget stuff's felt a little bit vanilla lately. The counter ads we used to quote just haven't hit the same. So TV ads have been letting us down, but outside the usual channels, things are actually looking pretty promising. For example, this week, I don't know if anyone's seen it, we've actually had buildings across Joburg, Durban, and Cape Town lit up with a single question: what's your power move? No brand, no answers, just public curiosity. And it's this kind of guerrilla marketing campaign that I haven't seen in recent years, and dare I say it, I'm invested. Philip, our co-founder, reckons it's one of the heavyweight activewear brands, while I'm pretty certain it's one of the airlines or car makers flexing something new. As for you though, what do you reckon it could be? But either way though, it's bold, and for once, we're talking about ads again. And as for that Bagel Bite, the answer is Pretoria. The Cullinan diamond, still the largest ever found, was unearthed there in 1905 at the Premier No. 2 mine. It weighed over 3,100 carats and it was later gifted to King Edward VII. So look, sure, we gave one of our South African diamonds to the British Crown. As for the rest of our South African diamonds, they're currently watching the show. I'm sorry, that was terrible. My friends, that's it for today's show. Enjoy your well-deserved weekend. Be kind to one another, and I'll see you all on Monday. Cheers.